Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I am your friendly neighborhood PM here to give you your top 3 market points of the week. Now, this past week has been quite the roller coaster of market events and market movements and just ahead of the holiday season. So without further ado, we're going to dive right in so we can get you onto your weekend and finish that last minute holiday shopping. So at point number 3, it has to do with Starbucks. They've got their barista workers and their unionized stores in Seattle, LA, and Chicago planning on going on strike today. Now, the plan is for them to go on strike for the next 5 days. Now, this union represents about 500 of Starbucks' 10,000 stores, so it starts out kind of small. However, these are very major markets. These baristas are aiming for better pay, and the union has come out and said that they anticipate this strike to spread to hundreds of stores nationwide. Now, this is the first strike for Starbucks and their unionized workers since last February, so we'll see how that progresses and if it really spills over into Christmas Eve like they're expecting. At point number 2, it is Novo Nordisck falling over 20%, their largest fall on record this morning after they announced that their study for their new experimental weight loss drug did not lose as much weight in the study as it was previously expected. Now, they were testing a new experimental shot drug similar to Eli Lilly's Zepbound. It was called CagriSema, and it, throughout the course of the 68-week study, only lost about 20.4% of weight loss, but they were expecting 25%. Now, that still sounds pretty good. That is right in line with Eli Lilly's Zepbound shot, and from their study and what participants can see from that. However, the big difference here is that Eli Lilly's drug is already on the market, while Eli is also already working on a new next generation experimental weight loss drug. So right now, shares of Eli Lilly are rallying while Novo Nordisck is getting hammered. Now, this is a huge blow to Novo because the intensifying competition in the space of weight loss drugs. So any misstep is really crucial for these companies at the current moment. And finally, at number 1, most of you probably saw it if you happen to be watching your portfolios or just watching the news randomly on Wednesday, but it was the market falling about 3% in one day this past Wednesday as Chairman Jerome Powell and the Fed cut interest rates by 25 basis points. Now, you're probably wondering, well, like on the past couple rate decisions when they've cut rates, it's been a good thing. The big issue here was the comments following the rate decision. So Chairman Powell came out, cut 25 basis points. However, he came through with very hawkish rhetoric going into 2025 and pretty much giving the signal that, hey, we're not going to be cutting rates nearly as much as we just did. Now we cut rates by a whole percentage point, but the number and magnitude of them in 2025 is not what we were previously going to be expecting. So the previous consensus estimate for next year was going to be about 3 interest rate cuts. But Chairman Powell came out and pretty much is indicating maybe 2 and only of 25 percentage point increments. Now, the market clearly did not like that. That is a very much more hawkish stance than the Fed had previously been articulating as inflation had continued to progress downward. Now, the chairman and the committee is going back to their previous stance of, well, we need to see meaningful inflation progress before we have further conviction to cut rates. So obviously that leaves interest rates at a further restrictive level. They're trying to wade off inflationary pressures while also balancing economic stability. But market participants like when borrowing rates are a little bit lower. So we saw quite the sell-off on Wednesday. There was a bit of a rally yesterday, so only time will tell how today finishes for the week. Now that does it for the past week and the top 3 points there. What are we looking to for next week? Well, you could probably guess it. It's Christmas, it's Christmas Eve, it's the holiday season, it's also Hanukkah. So please spend the time with your family, look forward to that. But if you really want to see a market insight point that we're kind of trying to keep our eyes on next week, well, I'll probably be tracking how the Nissan and Honda merger talks are further developing as those have been recently announced. But either way, as always, if you have additional questions, please reach out to your financial advisor or dig into the written weekend review. And as always, please enjoy your weekend and have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and we will see you the same time next week. Thanks as always. Bye.